Jason, are you okay? We're start. Good evening. Good evening. I'd like to thank you all for attending the Cooperative Extension organizational meeting. I'll ask that you please keep comments until the end. There was a sign-up sheet if you did have comments to be added to the roster to speak. I would also let you know that we have to be out of the building by 9 o'clock. So any comments that are shared, we will need to wrap up by 9 o'clock. So they're going to kick us out. So I'd like to first of all thank the Walton Central School for hosting us. I'd like to thank our incredibly dedicated and talented CCE staff for setting up this on such a short notice. So I would like to welcome you all here, and I'd like to do a roll call of our board members in case you haven't had a chance to meet them before. I have our Delaware County Board of Supervisor Representative Bud Gladstone, who is a voting member of the board. I have Carol Nachalski from Walton. She serves on the HE committee and is one of the two HE delegates. Andrea Balcom is a member at large from Andes. Aaron Johnson is a member at large from, technically, right? Christina Losi is the second HE board member from Davenport. Stacy Palmatier is the one of the two 4-H representatives to the board, and she's from, sorry, I have their names but not their towns. Then we have Ashley Swanamore, who's a CCE team lead for community college and 4-H. Caitlin Conklin, who is the 4-H educator. Stacy Palmatier is our office. Stacy, there's too many, sorry. Stacy Young. Carolyn Scobie, who is ag representative, and she's from Delancey. Next to her is Brad Taggart from Franklin, and he is the second ag member. And then Libby Whippany is the second 4-H member. Donna Jones is a member at large, and not Betty Scott, in case you didn't know who I was. And so with that said, and Danielle, I'm sorry. I'm not voting. Danielle is our SBN representative.
That's okay. How can you?
She is our SBN representative who services this region. So she's here, she's a non-voting member of our board and offers a lot of advice on Cornell and the rules that we need to follow. So she's an integral part of our board, but never means her. No. So I don't think we need to do the roll call because I just did the roll call. So we currently have 3 vacancies on our board due to resignation since our last board meeting. So I would like to ask, Bud has a person he'd like to recommend.
I'd like to nominate or actually appoint Jason Mondor from Delancey.
So Jason is on the he's a member of the volunteer fire department, and he's a board member for the town of Andes, and very involved in our 4-H program.
Sorry about that.
So if there's no objection, I'd like to appoint Jason to the board.
That's fine.
Having no objections,
Yeah,
Jason.
it's just as me understand, it's giving me fits. It'll be good.
And then the second one, and
I'd like to nominate Tim Guplet of Walton. I think for all you Walton residents, it goes without saying, he is vice president of the Wayne Bank. I know his family is very involved in 4-H, and I believe he is going to be a great addition to our board.
So if there are no objections, I would like to appoint Tim to our board as well. So I'll ask you to please also come up and join us. There is a third position vacant. I've had numerous people recommended. Some have chosen not to serve at this time. So I'm going to hold that third seat until our executive committee meeting, giving other people the opportunity to bring forth their interest in the board. I do not at this time want to take from our issues committee, because that would require anyone else from the issue committee to resign their issue committee position, and desperately need our issue committee staff to fill those issue committee positions to keep our programs going forward. So having said that, unfortunately, the board needs to have an executive session to discuss some personnel and legal issues. So I apologize that you come here to wait again, but I would like a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We'll be going to the library for hopefully what's not too long, so if you please bear with us, and we'll be back as soon as we can.
We're all good on Zoom.
We're just waiting for a couple people.
Sorry, we'll get Danielle's stuff. Who's out is that?
Oh, yes, he's got it.
Bring it.
You're pretty good at public speaking, but man, this is just.
I'm not good at it.
Public part, right?
Yes. No, we haven't started yet. We're waiting. There's 2 board members in the restroom.
Okay.
Take your time, we got all night.
9 o'clock. So can I get a motion to come out of executive session?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we're now out of executive session. I'd like to ask for a motion at this time to place the executive director on paid administrative leave.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need to call, I think we should call the roll. Bud Gladstone,
Yes.
Carolyn Chowski,
Yes.
Andrew Malcolm,
Yes.
Aaron Johnson,
Yes.
Christina Pelosi,
Yes.
Stacy Palmetier, Timothy Gottlieb,
Yes.
Carolyn Scobie,
Yes.
Brad Taggart,
Yes.
Libby Renee, Donna Jones,
Yes.
and Justin Mendel.
Jason.
Jason, sorry.
Yeah.
And that is Scott, yes, I will, yeah. Thank you. Now we're gonna continue. Continuing on with the agenda, the executive director's report, I'll ask the finance committee to give us an update on our financials for 2022 and 23.
We are in good shape to close out 23s. We are financially in really good shape. The end of the years for 23 will be closed out tentatively by the end of March.
We had approved the salary equity study, which is still in progress. Given that in the December meeting, we voted to do a salary equity study and pay increases by March. Not having that, I would like to ask for a motion to do a 3% cost of living raise to our staff.
I make a motion.
Second. All in favor, that would be retroactive, oh, sorry. Trying to vote again, retroactive to the first of the year, because it should have happened at the first of the year. So now can I get a motion to present?
I make a motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So motion carried, pay raise effective 1st of January, 3%. I will not give a staff leadership, development update. We do have multiple vacancies on our website. Please, if you know anyone who would like to work at extension, we do have several positions open. President's report, this is the organizational meeting, so I'd like to, give the slate of officers as proposed. Betty Scott is president, vice president Carolyn Chelsea, secretary Donna Jones, treasurer Brad Taggart. Can I get a motion from the board to accept the nominations? And
So move. Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, thank you. As board president, I'd like to make the following appointments. Our camp committee, Polly Delacroix, Doug Whitaker, Carol Lederat, Lindy Taggart, and Kathy Schofield. Our 4-H committee, will be Stacy Palmetier and Libby Lipinay Kelly. Ag, Chair Brad Taggart, Carolyn Scobie, board member. Their officers are Brad Taggart, Chair, Vice Chair Joyce Gray, and Secretary Carolyn Scobie. Human Ecology, Carol Michalski, and Christina Losi is now filling the vacancy that Donna Newman Dixon held. I'd like to personally thank Donna Dixon Union for her years of service to Extension. She served on the HE committee and also as president for 3 years. So thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
At this time, I want to appoint the Personnel Committee, which will be Donna Jones, Christina Alosi, Libby Kelly. There's a leave a seat for the yet to be named Director at Large, and Carolyn Scobie on Personnel. Finance will be Andrea Balcom. Oh, I'm sorry, I want Timothy Gutless. Timothy Gutless on the Personnel Committee. If I don't have it written down. Finance is Andrea Balcom, Stacy Palmentier, Caroline Michalski, Brad Kager, and I would like Jason, to serve on the Finance Committee. Our Long Range Committee is Aaron Johnson, Rachel Patterson Collins, Joyce Gray, Bud Gladstone, and 2 other members to be named. Chairman for Personnel will be Libby Kelly. Brad will be the chair of Finance, and the Long Range will be determined after their first meeting. Bud, do you have a supervisor's report?
I got one to be a little brief. But I just want everybody to be aware, the board of supervisors is aware of the situation with FCCE here. We take this very seriously. I realize the impact CCE has on the lives of the Delaware County families and the 4-H youth. We are 100% supportive of doing what we can to support CCE and especially the staff to get CCE back on track to where it used to be.
I had asked Jason Craig to attend tonight's meeting. Jason, are you here?
Right here.
Well, I've asked him to speak at this time.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be brief as well. I know we all want to get home. I just want to let everybody know that the Delaware County Fair seems 100% committed to the youth at the Delaware County Fair. We have already met with Caitlin and Ashley, and we have made our resources available to help them through this transition. And we will be there to help them through whatever they need to make sure that the fair is the same for the kids that it always has been. We will make sure of it. That's our commitment from the fair, and we'll make sure that happens. Thank you.
On behalf of CCE Delaware County, I'd like to thank the Delaware County Fair for all that they do for our youth and for our community and their support in our efforts. Continuing on to our committee reports, there's several things that business we need to take care of. Approval to add the board treasurer as signer on all bank accounts. Board approval requirement for checks over $40,000. Board approval requirements for WAC checks over $60,000. Can I get a motion to approve that?
Second.
All in favor? The December 20th board meeting minutes need to be approved. Can I get a motion to approve the December 20th meeting minutes?
So moved.
All in favor? Motion to approve the executive committee meeting minutes from February 23rd. Those minutes were just it was an executive session, so it was a motion to go into executive session, a motion to come out of executive session. That's the sum total of those minutes.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then there was another executive committee meeting on March 1st. Those minutes should have been distributed also. A motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Gotta keep that shit down. Moving on to finance, I'd like a motion to approve the finance committee to approve the end year close, which is due on March 31st, rather than try to bring the full board back to approve that. We do have almost all of the year closed. There's a report from the auditor that might require some minor adjustments, and then we won't be able to close the year. So we need approval to do that in place of the full board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. We're gonna skip the, next, our official bank is Wayne Bank, correct? So a motion to keep our accounts at Wayne Bank.
It's a procedure, yeah.
I need a motion to continue these Wayne Bank with our main depository.
I'll make a motion.
Second. This will most likely be amended at the second meeting, but we always have to have something in there. This is something we've been working on for several months. I'd like a motion to maintain current credit cards with Sydney Federal Credit Union and to work with Wayne Bank to start an application for nonprofit credit cards. I would like to ask if any member wants to abstain from this vote. And Mr. Gutliff will be abstaining. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So carried. You were provided with multiple policies. We will, policy 505, which is travel, was approved by the executive committee on November 17th. It changed the travel policy basically to say that staff will be paid for any commuting miles, or not commuting miles, any miles they travel on CCE business beyond their normal daily commuting miles. So, there's several things that were sent out. Please review and authorize the CCE volunteer agreement and code of conduct. I need a motion to approve those. Actually, I can read them all. We can approve all of them. Review and authorize the 2024 confidentiality agreement. Acknowledge review and receipt of Foreign Code 104, organization and financial leadership and extension associations, financial responsibilities of association board of directors, and review and authorize 2024 LGS 1 record retention policy per Form Code 1705 retention of records. So can I get a motion to approve all of those
I make the motion.
policies? All in favor? Next thing is a member authorization to the president and or executive director to approve the memorandum of agreement with Delaware County. A memorandum of agreement with Cornell University, subcontracts within the CCE system, and all other contracts including with other associations, agencies, and funders. Can I get a motion to allow those authorizations? Second?
Second.
Christina, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Other authorizations and appointments. Designation of the official newspaper for announcements would be the Reporter. The holiday schedule for 2024, which was also attached to the packet that went out to the board. I would like to at this time appoint Stacy Young as assistant to the secretary. The assistant to the secretary shall not serve as an officer nor be eligible to vote, but will attend all board meetings and act as the assistant to the board secretary. I need a motion to,
Motion.
second.
Aye.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? According to our constitution, we can also, authorize signing for the treasurer on the bank account loans and other financial transactions, including signing checks, would be the president and the vice president. So I need a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. And then according to the Constitution, we can have support staff treasurer, which we would like to appoint. We'd like to authorize support staff to assist the assistant or assist the treasurer to open and close bank accounts, do other things that need approval, and that would be Stacy Young. Can I get a motion to approve her?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Okay. We would like to, I think we're gonna hold on these authorization transaction accounts. We already have limits in place. I'm gonna leave them where they are. Unless there's any discussion to change them. All right. Authority to be signature on disbursements accounts, Dale Dewing and Ashley Solano Moore. Need a motion to approve that?
So,
I will not, at this time, I will not add the executive director on those accounts. I will just add those two. We can add that later. So a motion to add those two people. Second. Authority to the executive director, program leads and program leaders to establish performance. I would like to also table this one. Establish performance appraisal processes, maintain up to date position descriptions for authorized position and ensure adherence to established policy. That's something Danielle would have to do at this meeting, or is it something we can say, okay, then I'll table this. I have a resolution for banking accounts. I hear, the bank's requiring, so I hereby certify the following bank, which would be Wayne Bank, that at the meeting of the Board of Directors of Cornell Cooperative Extension, Delaware County, a not-for-profit organization organized under the laws of the state of New York, duly called, a quorum being present, and held at the office of said ordinance actually being held at Walton Central School. This will be amended to have the regular address on it. On this day, 13th day of March, following resolutions were duly adopted and are now in full force and effect. Resolved that the above banks be designated as depositories of this organization, and all checks, notes, drafts, bills, or so moved. Second. All in favor? Motion carried. There is an attachment with the meeting schedule. There will be an amended list sent out. The finance committee has changed the dates of their meetings and it will be updated on the with that. Carol, anything else? That was it. That's it. All right, so having done that, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the public meeting. We will now, after the vote, we will move into a time to let people speak. So, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting. On favor? Okay, so the meeting is adjourned. Now, there was a sign up list. of People that wanted to talk.
There's one more person that was like.
Right. We want to these are the ones first. All right, so I'm gonna, there's no way to get that audio connected. Okay, yeah, I'll say. You got it? Sure.
Yeah.
Who is that? Okay, thank you. Okay, Karen Graves would like to make a comment.
So, when Betty calls your name, come on up here. You can stand in front of Mike. The Zoom camera will see you. and you can talk to the board.
I ask just a real quick question? Typically, I believe when the floor is given to the public, it's prior to the meeting being adjourned so that the public's statements would be recorded.
Zoom, you're on,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Zoom is not muted.
Karen Graves is asking, I would like to suggest that a new firm be hired to do any investigation since HR one won't put its suggestions in writing. I'd like to ask Cassie Smith to come up, following her, Meg Shivers, Melissa Bishop, Joyce Curtin, and then I'll go from there.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to introduce myself as Cassie Smith. This evening, I will be speaking on the behalf of Delaware County 4-H alumni members and community members. If you are not sure who I am, I grew up showing pigs, poultry, rabbits, and Katie. I also took part in events such as 4-H 5K, International Nights Teen Council, and was employed at Camp Shankerton for 2 summers. During my time as a 4-H member spanning a decade, the immense dedication shown by Emily Roche and Corinne Tompkins towards enriching the lives of the youth is inspiring. The petition that has been circulating social media has 569 signatures. In just over a week. This shows the support behind these 2 strong, seasoned staff that have been with us for over a decade. I have had Emily as a mentor. In teen council, she guided us and accompanied us on most of our trips and events. Emily broke the goofy side out of me in a smaller crowd during these occasions, which was hard for me at a young age. The other 4-Hers traveling with us were always happy to see her, and she made us feel like we've known each other for years, even if we just met. Over the course of the 2 summers, I worked for Corinne. The first summer, she was indirectly my boss as I worked in the kitchen. I was a junior in high school when I started and knew maybe 8 people out of the 50 to 60 staff members that were there that summer. Being kitchen staff, it was hard for me to bond with counselors. So for the first 3 weeks, I worked and went to my room for the night and repeated. After Corinne caught on to me just hiding, she introduced me to the day camp counselors and the cooking class counselors, which to this day are still some of my closest friends. The following summer, COVID struck and shut down the world, but Corinne was dedicated to give the kids a piece of camp at home. Honored to be hired back that summer, it became easier to bond with the staff members, but also Corinne. I remember wiping water on the cans of the box tape to seal the boxes and painting cabinets like it was yesterday. Since aging out of 4-H, I currently volunteer my help and knowledge in the Rabbit and Katie Barn, where I judged in the summer of 2022. 4-H could not be possible without the community. We, the community, want answers. We are sickened to hear our 2 beloved educators could be lost from our program forever when they have never in the past done anything wrong. Why in the last year have we lost so many employees from our Hampton office? Is it because of the supervision of Dr. Mindy Burkbaker? We need the situation figured out now. If Dr. Mindy Burkbaker is indeed making the Hampton CC office a hostile work environment, she needs to resign immediately, and Corinne and Emily need to be reinstated. This disaster needs to be solved before it affects the future of our youth. I would also like to thank John and Caitlin Conklin and Ashley Solano Moore for taking on twice, maybe even 3 times the responsibilities that their normal job requires. Thank you to the board for hearing out our concerns, and we hope that the correct steps will be taken for the future of our programs. Thank you.
I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. My name is Meg Shivers, and I'm from Franklin, New York, in Delaware County. I am a 4-H volunteer and the mom to a 10-year 4-H alum and a 4-H teenager who already has 9 years with Delaware County 4-H. My kids have been involved in livestock, equine, canine, community service, cooking, sewing, and many other programs. Both have been to camp and have been active independent and club members. And looking around this room tonight, I cannot even say that they have been active compared to some of the families here. But every minute of their time spent in a 4-H program has been educational, insightful, and fun. And the reason for that is the people behind the scenes, planning these programs and executing them in a way that makes our Delaware County youth want to stay engaged in 4-H. Our heads need to think clearly about the course of action to be taken to right these wrongs of terminating 2 of our most valuable 4-H employees. Our hearts need to remain loyal to Delaware County 4-H through this crisis, and specifically to Emily and Corinne. Our hands need to come together in service to help our youth navigate their programming while the Cooperative Extension Board fulfills their duties to 4-H. Our health of Delaware County 4-H depends on it. Nothing can thrive in a toxic environment. 4-H grows here in Delaware County. And it's up to this board to make Cooperative Extension whole again. Reinstate Emily and Corinne for the heads, hearts, hands, and health of all. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melissa Bishop. I'm a Delaware County 4-H alum. I began my journey in 4-H as a clover bud, participating in club events, 4-H Dairy Bowl, fashion review, public presentations, showing livestock, and much, much more. Every summer I attended 4-H Camp Shankatunk and went through the Counselor in Training, or CIT program. I also worked 3 summers as a counselor. I joined Teen Council and traveled all across the state with Emily. We also took trips to Vermont and New York City. I took part in the Saratoga and Warren County exchange programs. The experiences I had and the people I've met through 4-H have shaped me and countless of others into the people that we are today. I hope Delaware County 4-H can continue to have a positive impact on the lives of our current and future youth. However, the decisions and actions taken by the CCE board and the current executive director do not bode well. In order to create a positive impact, you must connect with youth. You need to show up and you have to be present. Even though I'm no longer in 4-H, I still volunteer. I was at the Delaware County Fair this past year. I helped to set up the youth building as well as put signage up in the livestock farms. I judged 4-H projects. Corinne and Emily were by my side the entire time. I have still yet to meet the executive director. Terminating the two employees who I refer to as the face of Delaware County 4-H and turning a blind eye to the numerous staff complaints for the past 15 months is simply not acceptable. Something is broken and it needs to be fixed. The future of Delaware County 4-H depends on it.
Next, I have Joyce Curtin and Donna Wood and then Becky Manning.
Delaware County CCE Board, like the other people in attendance here and the over 100 people listening on Zoom, I'm distressed by the recent firing of Emily Roach and Corinne Tompkins. Both Emily and Corinne grew up in the Delaware County 4-H program. They worked as summer assistants during their college years and then chose to return to Delaware County to serve as leaders of the 4-H program. Emily Roach has her finger on the pulse of Delaware County 4-H. She is a competent team leader, has cultivated connections with other county and state level extension leaders, and is always helpful and friendly. She's diplomatic and fair in her dealings with all stakeholders when issues arise, and is open to suggestions and ideas from the committees that she's responsible for leading. She has always used all of these attributes to promote 4-H and to provide quality programming for the youth of Delaware County. Corinne has provided the same attributes in her service at Camp Shankerton. Running of a quality 4-H program requires more than one extension agent. We're thankful for Caitlin and that she has joined the 4-H office. But she can't do this on her own and actually has other responsibilities. The office was understaffed prior to Emily and Corinne's removal, and now it's decimated. I'm saddened to think that Mandy has in effect dismantled the 4-H program for the youth of Delaware County. I've been involved with Delaware County 4-H as a volunteer for 23 years, and never have I seen such disregard by any group in the county for the county's children. The Delaware County Fair is only 4.5 months away. Who's going to supervise the 4-H building? Check in and arrange for judging of all the exhibits, coordinate setup and takedown of all the animal departments, run the 4-H animal auction that brings in over $100,000 each year, put together the 4-H parade, and the list goes on and on. You cannot do this with just one extension agent. You cannot do this with completely new staff. And while I'm thankful for the board, the Fair Board stepping up and wanting to help, this is not their responsibility. Outside of decimating the 4-H program, I think the board has to address the atmosphere of fear, uncertainty, and poor morale that exists within CCE. It is clear that there has been an exodus from CCE since the hiring of Mandy Baker. Several former employees have expressed their reasons for leaving since her tenure. It should be clear to the board at this point that the common denominator here is not Emily Roach or Corinne Tompkins. It is Mandy. I want to thank the board tonight for the action of placing the executive director on administrative leave, but now I ask that the board reinstate Emily Roach and Corinne Tompkins. These two ladies deserve to be treated as the valued employees that they are and have always been. And Delaware County youth, 4-H youth deserve to have the programs they have so loved reinstated with the familiar and caring educators that they have learned so much from and grown to respect both. Please restore Delaware County 4-H. The reality is that once we lose the children in the confusion and chaos that this situation has created, the 4-H program will not be easily restored. The board has an opportunity tonight to take action and rectify the travesty that this has been. Thank you.
Donna Wood. Becky Manning. And then after Becky would be Sarah Soar.
Hi, I'm Becky Manning. I didn't prepare a speech, but, I was the camp director prior to Corinne, from 2011 to 2014. When I started working there, Corinne was very kind, and she always would nudge me in the right direction and tell me where I needed to go. She was respectful throughout that whole time. That was just the beginning. So I have written to the board and just asked you to consider all the work that goes into it, as all these other people have described. I also, my son, Asher Manning, he's gonna be 10 this month, and he tried to call up Mandy he decided he needed to go to the top, and he wanted to let her know that he needs his club back, because we canceled, because we are part of the Country Bumpkins, and and there's nobody there to unlock the door we always met at Cornell Cooperative Extension, but he would like to be part of 4-H, and he would like his club back. I also know as a camp director that you cannot run a camp alone. You can't do it. You need that support of the camp administrator. And I've applied to send my children to camp, but I may not be able to, because I know it won't be safe unless you have an administrator behind you. So John is wonderful. He does a great job. Corinne has trained him well. He works hard, but you get blasted. You're up all night. You have to deal not only with the campers, you're working with the staff who are also very tired by the end of the summer. And it's managing the staff, the children, the parents, and you always are out there trying to keep the people safe. So I'm asking you, as everyone else has, to please consider bringing Corinne back. Also, Emily, we just started teen council with my older son, and we've been enjoying that experience as well. And they've both been there for more than 14 years working. Corinne has grown through being a counselor to program director, to the camp director, to the camp administrator. She's learned from the other people that came before her. She is a conscientious and caring and respectful person. Even to this point, she has not talked trash about anybody. And I think that that's amazing attribute that she holds. So think about the kids, think about the ripple effect. If we're trying to prevent adverse childhood experiences here by having good role models, good leaders who are connecting with youth, then think about what we need to do. And then also that I understand that your job, like as you were talking about budgets and all of those kinds of things, that's huge. You have a lot of stuff that you're going to be band-aiding together and kind of understanding. And it's frightening to me to think about the people now, you know, they have no leader. You may have a bad leader, but now you have no leader, and trying to keep everything together to make it go smooth. But there needs to be healing amongst the staff, the volunteers, the people that have been affected by what was going on. And I even came back to camp last year because I was worried about what was going on.
So thank you, Becky. I want to give everybody a chance to talk, so. Yeah. After Sarah will be Madeline McLaughlin and then Phil Appleby.
I have a very specific question, which I guess relates to, just not having enough staff also. My son, this will be his 9th year giving public presentations, and my daughter has given public presentations for I think 5 years. And I noticed there's only one weekend to do that, and it's during spring break, and I'm hoping that something can be worked out, like maybe we can do a video or something like that, but I feel like it, you know, once again, goes back to, I think there used to be 3 weekends maybe that they used to.
If you don't mind, can I speak to that? So when my kids first started doing public presentations, you could go to Walton, you could go to
Right.
Hampton, and I think that there was one
Yes.
other location, and they were on multiple, and just over time, it got condensed and condensed.
Okay.
But they've always been willing to make accommodations for kids who
Great.
are at wrestling sectionals or other events,
Awesome.
so that they could do that. I'm sure, and I'm seeing them now, so they will
Okay,
make those,
great,
those,
thanks.
so reach out directly
So
to,
those are easy.
Caitlin or Ashley, and they will make sure that that happens.
Okay.
Caitlin? Bill?
Maddie first.
Oh, man, sorry.
Hi, my name is Madeline McLaughlin, and I've been a counselor at 4-H Camp Shankathon for 2 years. Previously, I've been there for 9 years as a camper. I've lived in Delaware County since I was 3 years old. And while I can't personally attest to 4-H or its group, I have personally been the youth community that 4-H strives so hard to reach. And I have personally worked for 4-H and been a part of inspiring youth communities. You all have done half of the task that we are all asking of you, and that was making or placing Mandy Baker on administrative leave. However, at this point, I feel we're no longer asking. We need you all to reinstate Corinne Tompkins and Emily Roach. Personally, have worked with Corinne, and I have seen her as my camp director for the past decade, and I'm 18, so that's more than half of my life. They are the blood that runs through 4-H veins, and the amount that they've done for this community is immeasurable. And I don't think that I or anyone have to tell you what they've done. Look around, go to your local 4-H chapter, send your kids or your grandkids to 4-H. Visit the CCE building and see how much time they spend inside and outside of that office, because no one else can do it. And I can attest to that as someone who has worked and put their blood, sweat, and tears into camp. I can guarantee that whatever I have is a fraction of the amount that they put in. And I know that you all are sure that camp will run in 3 months, but it won't without them. We need them. We need their experience, their expertise. We need their heart and their passion and their effort. And like, honestly, I don't know if I could come back to camp because I don't think it'll run without them. We need them. And I know that it's not just me, it's everybody. I don't have to explain the backlash that you've all received about this and about the situation. And I can't speak on the internal affairs that are going on within that, but I know that the effect that it's having on me, the hundreds, if not thousands of kids that those two women have worked with and inspired. It's shocking to me to see that they were left and were fired on kind of a whim with the amount of time and effort that they have put into what we all create. And I thank you for taking these steps to correct whatever situation might have happened. But I think you all need to witness what you all are here for. You are here to represent our community, and your community is asking you to do something about all of this and to protect these women that have given their life to this organization and were paid back by being fired. So I thank you all for like your time and your effort to be here. And I hope that you all can make the right decision by reinstating Corinne Tompkins.
We have to be out of this building at 9 o'clock. So in order to give everyone a chance, please respect the 2 minutes. I don't want me to cut anybody off. I want everybody to be able to speak. And that's why I'm asking that please, as you come up, keep it to the 2 minutes if you would, please.
Hello, I am Phil Apperly. I have been working at 4-H Camp Shankathon for the last 15 years. In various capacities, I run the kitchen, and for the last 3 years, I have been the program director. All 15 of those years, I have worked very closely with Corinne. She's been the best leader I could have ever asked for. She was pretty much helped me decide that camping is the full-time career that I want in my life. And to speak to her character, I have been very vocal in my opposition to Mandy, publicly and privately. And Corinne, who has had this horrible thing done to her by being terminated, which many of us believe wrongfully. Corinne reached out to me and reminded me that Mandy is still a person and has feelings. So Corinne has had this horrible thing done to her by this one person, and she still cares about that person's feelings. And you will not find that in too many people in this state, in this country, in this world. Thank you.
I'm going to get Walton Harrington and then George Michelle.
Good evening, Board. My name is Doug Whitaker, and I am a lifelong resident of Delaware County, having grown up in a small dairy farm just outside of Delhi. I remember and was a member of a 4-H club for many years and spent 2 years at Camp Shankatonk as a camper in the mid-50s. During my adult life, I spent 40 years in the dairy feed business, working closely with Cooperative Extension board member, with precision feeding and also with the watershed. In 2004, I was elected to the Cooperative Extension board, serving 6 years on the board, and 3 of those as chairman or president. And in 2010, at the urging of Walter Gladstone, I volunteered to serve on the Camp Shankatonk committee and have served in that capacity up to the present time. I have proudly shared Walter's love and pride in the Camp Shankatonk, along with so many other employees and volunteers. Through my affiliation with the camp, I have personally witnessed the outstanding work accomplished by the 4-H program. And I've been impressed by the dedication of all 4-H employees, including Emily Roach and Corrine Tompkins. Both of these employees were the core of the 4-H program, and I am deeply concerned about the future of Camp Shankatonk after hearing the recent firing and toxic environment that is now exists in Cooperative Extension. I am urging Delaware County, Cornell Cooperative Extension Board to take immediate steps to replace the current director and hire these fine employees back so we can move forward with this organization in a very positive way. Thank you.
William and then George and then Patty Bowker, please.
Good evening. For 40 years, 4-H has been part of my life, my children's life, my grandchildren's life. Excuse me. And it's made all of us better people. 4-H has always meant kindness and excellence. And I guess it's something we took for granted because it worked. And now it's a mess, but I don't believe it's beyond repair. And I just hope that everybody has the courage and the wisdom, even if it seems like you might get sued, to do the right thing. Thank you.
Good evening, board. I'm George Michelle. I'm a 4-H alumni and I am an employee at 4-H Camp Shantytown. The impact that 4-H has had on my life is immense. It's taught me some very incredible things. Public speaking, to speak in front of you all tonight is a great example. I'm grateful for the work that CCE has done for myself and all the youth that have passed through the 4-H program. And I also would like to ask a question to anybody who may concern on the board or in CCE if there is a direct plan for programming past the month of March and a plan for anybody who assists in the direction of programming past the month of March.
We're trying. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not gonna be easy for a little bit of time. Ashley and Caitlin are committed. Dale, Stacy, Paul, the entire team at WAC, at the watershed staff, they are committed to this program. This board is committed to this program. So will it be easy? No. But we are Delaware County. We are strong. We will get through this together.
Hi, I'm Patty Bowker. I'm from Walton, New York. I would like to thank the Board of Directors and the remaining CCE employees for their continued dedication and loyalty to CCE. Thank you for your decision in regard to Mandy. As everyone in the room is wondering, has a decision been made in regard to reinstating Emily and Corinne? Not-for-profits are public entities. As such, all documentation should be available to the public, usually on their website. CCE's currently is not. The resignation and or termination of 9 employees within the time Mandy has been the executive director is unacceptable, especially with no action plan in place to facilitate upcoming major events such as the fair and camp. A hostile work environment is never acceptable. It is unrealistic to expect to have all vacancies filled and employees trained before camp and the fair. CCE does not offer competitive wages for this area, even for a not-for-profit organization. We do thank you for raising the salaries 3% in an attempt to make salaries competitive. What is the plan for Corinne's 4-H group, whose meetings have been canceled, thus creating a disruption in the program? Are New York State Department of Labor wage and hour laws being followed for the remaining hourly CCE employees in regard to overtime because they're putting in a lot of hours? Is there an action plan in place in case current employees suffer burnout and leave? I don't understand how information is missing. I would assume that when an employee leaves or is terminated, that the corporate CCE office IT department would immediately lock the computers and emails, change passwords, and allow access for current employees who need said information. I don't understand how no one remaining does not have access to those files. I have been involved in 4-H in some manner since 1979. Yes, I'm very old. My 4 children have been or are currently involved in 4-H. Bud's Barn, that was named in honor of my father. The program offers life lessons that have been lost and many children would otherwise not be subjected to if it weren't through 4-H. I strongly support 4-H programming and feel that as a community, we need to make sure it survives in a professional, kind, and caring manner, and that experienced, dedicated employees that were let go are reinstated. Eleanor Kimmler is looking down, shaking her head in despair. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Wayne Marshfield to come up and speak. In case you don't know Wayne, he's the town supervisor from Hampton. He sits directly across from you.
Yeah, hi, Gordon, Wayne Marshfield from Hamden. And my wife and I are here tonight to support Emily and Corinne. And I know where you stand. I talked to several board members, and you know the importance of the 4-H, you know the importance of the farmers. But I just want to tell you one story about Corinne. She called me down at the Walton Theater one night and said, Wayne, you suppose the farmers can get some money from this American Rescue Plan? And I said, Corinne, put a plan together and bring it. I think it'd be a good idea. So between Corinne and Dale and Paul, they put a hell of a plan together. And when she walked out of there, we gave $1 million to the farmers. When just joking with her at the end of that meeting, I said, Corinne, you ever decide to leave Cooperative Extension, look the county up, would you? You know what her comment was? I love Cooperative Extension, I would never leave them. Yeah. I just wanna say that whatever you do, I know you're gonna do the right thing, I know it. A good organization is only as good as their weakest link. And you know what your weakest link is, you're dealing with it tonight. You need a leader that's gonna work with the staff, be part of the team, and not afraid to get their hands dirty once in a while. That's all I got to say.
Lynn Taggart. No, I think it's Louis Jones, maybe?
Yeah, no comment.
Okay.
I want to agree with Betty that it's not going to be easy. Therefore, I'm talking to you. 2 weeks ago, when I was told this upheaval, I was given some strong advice. It was from a source that would surprise most of you, or maybe not after a conversation with another speaker tonight. But the advice was, stay positive and go forward. We can do that and show the strength we have with 4-H traditions. While I was growing up here in Walton, one of my good friends chose a different youth organization to be in than me. Both hers and mine, 4-H, are still thriving. But once grown up, she admitted if she'd chosen 4-H, both her mother and father could have been involved in the projects as mine had. This is a treasure of 4-H. Generations can continue to work together. Their accomplishments make for lasting memories and traditions. I want our beloved staff back, but in honor of them and where they have led us, let's get involved with projects, sewing, woodworking, crafts, canning, table setting, vegetable characters, and on and on and on. Let's help the kids fill the youth building and at the fair with these projects and presentations. Presentations are 4-H's unique way of making a speech while showing you how to do something, like braiding hair. Need me as a model? I'm Lindsay Taggart, 607-865-6251. Delaware County folk are strong. Let's show it. If I can help anyone with their club or projects, you've got my number.
Jen Wooden, are you here, Jen? And next is Clifford Scott.
I didn't prepare things, but I'm gonna do it impromptu. I'd like to thank everybody coming tonight. I'd like to thank the board for supporting the 4-H and also Cooperative Extension. I'm a dairy farmer. I've been my whole life. I'm 60 years old. How this lady Corinne could try to ruin what we have so great in this county, the support of everybody and what this county stands for, our young kids and the many things that they learn from through the fair and through the many projects that Emily, and thank you, Emily and Corinne, for all that they have done and will do again for our young youth. I'd like to thank the staff that we have that are there yet, working hard yet for what this lady is trying to do to us, for all their hard work that they're doing here. I'd like to applaud them, please, if you could. Well, I appreciate what you're doing, and I hope that, I know the board is working hard for everybody, and that, how this lady can treat kids like this, this is our young youth, and they learn from, and this is what learn and give them responsibilities. My kids have grown up through, they learn business, they learn how to take care of things, how to manage things, and how to buy animals, take care of animals. It's the best thing for them not to have. I'd like to thank our extension, Corinne especially, as a dairy farmer. Wayne mentioned the program that she mentioned. I am one person that helped desperately. In my freestall barn, my stalls were all shot. And through this grant, I was able to fix the stalls and the doors in my barn so the animals could live peacefully, and I could go on and farming. It's a hard thing to stop. Yeah, hope that Corinne and Emily will appreciate all they've done, and I hope we can pull them back, because we need their leadership through 4-H, because have done a great job over time, and I hope they will come back and help with both camp and with young kids, because they really love them, and that's what it's all about, kids. Thank you.
I have two guests on Zoom, Kathy Walters. Is she there? And Ariel Scott.
Hi, my name is Ariel Scott. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
I just like to say that I'm just as upset as my dad, as my mom, as someone that is been in 4-H, as someone that has been a summer assistant, has been in 4-H with Corinne, has seen what they do for our community, our kids, 4-H. I can't say enough about either one of them. I mean, I wouldn't have the internships that I had without Emily and John's help. I wouldn't be where I am without them. And I am right there with the board in their support as this is going on. And I just hope that we can salvage our 4-H and can move forward from here. That's all I wanted to say.
Is Kathy there?
I'm Holly Delacrosse and represent Andy's and the youth in our county. I wanna know, we wanna know, when is the decision gonna be made? Are we gonna know tonight that Emily and Corinne are coming back, or do we have to play the waiting game some more?
Yeah. Justine, are you there?
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
I would like to provide some context for the board as somebody who came on in May of 2021 when after COVID, we weren't sure if we were going to have the fair. We weren't sure if we were going to have camp. There was a staff shortage due to retirements during COVID. And we still had John Hannum, Corinne Tompkins, and Emily Roach. We had only really lost 1.5 FTE from the 4-H program. I came on board to fill those shoes, and the amount of work required to make those programs run for our youth, I spent hundreds of hours of unpaid overtime to make those programs run. And the fact that you think you can do this with one staff member and some volunteers just really shows me how disconnected you have been from the program. And I really encourage you to go into the office and see how things are running day to day, look at the amount of work required, and really sit with yourself and ask yourself why you ignored staff complaints for 15 months and allowed this to happen. Corinne and Emily need to be reinstated in order for camp and fair to run effectively this year. Thank you.
There was a question asked of the board.
The board cannot comment on any personnel or legal matters. We will not comment on any personnel or legal matters.
When can we find
When
out?
do we find out?
The waiting game needs to come to an end.
Kathy, are you there?
She was asking.
You have to unmute if you want.
Oh, no, you're good. Sorry.
You should be able to see Kathy, but we can't hear you. Is she able to chat with you all?
She did chat.
All right, I'm sorry, Kathy, if you can hear me then.
Hello?
Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah, hear me.
Hi. Hi, yes, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to be able to speak. So really, I am just going to comment on how admirable this meeting has gone at Cassidy for coming forward, for generating a petition, not knowing a whole lot about the history over the past year and a half. I am a resident of Delaware County. I have to say that it's disheartening to see the manner in which this was dealt with, the letting go of these two staff people. Again, I know you're not in a position to discuss it right now as to, the manner in which it was done, the disclosure of it, the allowing people to find out exactly what happened. I think moving forward, I am assuming most definitely as a result of tonight's meeting that you will take seriously what has been discussed, not only of the reinstatement of the two 4-H employees, but of the manner in which the funding, I would hope that you would be looking very strongly at how the county funding is being used at this point in time on a bigger scale, on a larger scale. You do get county funding, and coming from someone who's has a little bit of a knowledge of it, I'm concerned. And I think a lot of people should be concerned about the future of this. So I'm assuming, again, as I said, I appreciate your having the meeting, making this being open, but I'm also assuming that you are going to be moving forward and seriously looking not only at the reinstatement of these two individuals, but the future of Delaware County Cooperative Extension and its funding sources. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming and showing their support for our programs. I am privileged to serve on this board. I serve at your pleasure. I understand who I answer to. This board understands who we all answer to. You have entrusted us with a very difficult task right now. We do take it seriously. We are listening to your concerns. We are committed to these programs. We're committed to our ag program. We're committed to our farmers and other people. We're committed to our 4-Hers because they are our future. We depend on them, we need them, we need to support them. This is a difficult time for all of us. And we can ask a lot of questions, there's answers we can't have, but these are the answers I can give you. We are a strong county, we believe in this program, we support each other. We will continue to support each other, we will support the staff to continue to do the good work that they have always done. This board is listening to you, and we will do what is the best interest of our organization.
But when can we have an answer? I mean,
These are complicated matters that
I
can't be answered
understand
overnight.
that.
I'm sorry, I can't give you the answer that you want. I know it doesn't make you happy. I cannot give you that answer. Does anyone else have a question or anything?
When do you plan on meeting again? If you can't give us a time frame, when do you plan on meeting to go through? Because that's a personnel issue.
Our next scheduled meeting is a finance committee meeting at the end of the 27th, right? Right. The 27th of March. That's our next scheduled meeting. We do have the ability to call a special meeting if the circumstances arise that we need to do that.
I think
That'd be a good idea. Yeah. That'd be a great idea.
I would say that we did hear the comments about the website, about information not being posted. We have taken measures to change that. We will be posting our meetings on the website. If there's a special meeting, it will be posted on the website, it will be made available on social media. The next meeting is the finance committee meeting. Any special meeting will be posted. The minutes from this meeting will be posted within the time frame under law. Those Zoom meetings will be posted in the same time frame. So just keep looking for information. Anybody else want to say anything? If there's no other comments, we can end this meeting. Thank you again for coming.